All right, let's go ahead and begin then. Pre-Algebra, lesson 9-8. Wow, we are really moving through this. All right, circle graphs. We've actually already done a little bit of this. Not a big deal, okay? What's another name for a circle graph? Yes, Chloe? A pie chart. Yep. And so let's talk about some of the basics of these before we get too far here. All right, so first of all, let me grab my awesome shape recognition pen, which is a lot like... Woo! Oh, yeah, look at that. All right. It's just like before, except with the iPad. Okay, why don't someone turn off these lights so we have a little less glare? All right, so this is a circle. If this was my pie chart, it would represent what? What percentage? 100%. Absolutely. Okay, 100%. So when we start breaking up a pie chart, okay, obviously it stems kind of from the center. And we'll put a little dot here. And we might have pieces of the pie. And those pieces of the pie represent percents. So let's say this is, what percent would you think, could we estimate this is? Yeah.
20.
Okay, you say 20.
Well, no, like a 15 or a 10.
Well, let's start with this. This is 90 degrees of a circle, or what percent of the total?
25.
Very good. Very good, Bo. 25%. Because it only takes 4 of these to make up the total. It's like quarters, right? 4 quarters. So if that's 25%, then this in here is probably, what, Emma?
15 or 10.
10 or 15%. Yeah. Okay, so we have to start thinking about that. So 10 or 15%. Let's say 10%. 25%. This could right in here would be maybe 8%. Okay, what would that make this little sliver down here?
2. Oh,
7. Nice job. Oh, you're on target, man. 7%. 7%. All right, so we have, and then of course, this would then equal 50% of our circle. All right, but that's not where this all kind of takes us. This is kind of the easy stuff. This is kind of stuff to review. Let's say this chart represented a total of 308 people. 308 people.
you sure that's 300?
I'm positive it's 308, not 38. Though you could, no, in some countries, no, that's 38. Look at that, 38. But no.
That's how I was reading the note my sister did on homework.
All right, so it's 308. What would be, or how many people would be represented by 25%? How could we find that? Emma, what would we do?
308 divided by 4?
That's one option. You could take 308 and divide it by 4. Okay? So that would give us 25%. What else could you do? Chloe?
308 times 0.25.
You could multiply the decimal version of the percent by the number.
It's 77.
It's 77?
Yeah.
Okay. So this would be 77. Then how would we find the 8, the 10, and the 7%? Yeah, Grace.
You could do the 10% of 308 or 104 the way that you do like the 308 over something equals.
We could do that. Yup. So she's saying make a proportion. So she could say we could take 8 over 100 equals 308 and some unknown value. And that would be 8%. But we could also use Chloe's approach, right? This 8 divided by 100. Anyone know what that is as a decimal? Toby. 0.08. So really, x would equal 308 times the decimal version of the percent. So what is 308 times 0.08? Emma? What are you saying weight to?
24.64.
24. Oh man, there's a partial person there. That's fine. 24.64.
How do we know it's not like cake?
How about 10%? Is there an easy way to find that? What we just do? What do we do with this number?
Times it by 0.1.
0.1, or we just
Move the decimal.
move the decimal one place.
30.8.
30.8. And then 7%, so that would be like 0.07 times 308 equals what? Yes. 21.56. Okay, add up all the green numbers here. 77, 24.64, 30.8, 21.56. What do we get? Yeah.
154.
154. That means half the circle is equivalent to 154. Is that true? Yeah, it is. So we know we've done our math right. Okay, this is kind of how this works. So you might be given values and you have to decide what percent they are of a graph. This is working backwards. Oftentimes you have to work backwards if you're trying to read a chart. But sometimes if you're in the business of displaying information, you might have to make a chart. Okay? So let's go in that direction now. So we've worked it backwards.
Like if you worked in a toy company.
You worked in a toy company.
You went to toys.
Okay? Or if you were, let's say, trying to represent the percent of people in a company that dance ballet or dance the tango or dance like Gloria. It's a category all of its own. Okay? So let's go ahead and come up with something like that. All right, so let's say that we're going to make a pie chart of different types of dancers. Okay, so we have ballet dancers, which I'm sure I know nothing about. I have a resident expert, though, so if I need some information. And then we have tango. And then swing, which are both types of ballroom dancing. And then we'll just go tap. Okay, so we have ballet, tango, swing, and tap. Swing dancing is like what you used to see in like the
Oh, they do that on
like the 60s, like on Grease when they would like, you know, guys would twirl girls around and stuff. Okay. I actually know how to do this. It's a lot of fun. That's actually one of the things Mrs. Bornheimer used to do when we were in college. Okay. Swing dancing. Huh? I cannot do the tango.
Do you tap dance?
I cannot do tap dancing or ballet, but I can swing dance. So it's different. All right, ballet. Let's say 7 people are in this ballet. 2 are doing the tango. Okay, at least it takes 2 to tango. Okay. You need 10 here and 22 here. We got a lot of tap dancers in this particular group.
Should we add those all together?
Okay, well, see, here's the deal. To make a pie chart, you have to have a total. Okay, you have to have 100%. So Emma's right. In order to get to that 100%, all the numbers you're working with have to be added together. So what does this all add up to?
41.
41?
I do write it 4 times.
You'll see. All right. Now, how do I find the percent of the people that are ballet? How do I do that? Drake?
You divide the 7 divide by 41.
Very good. This is the fraction of people that are ballet. The fraction of people that are tango. the fraction of the people that are swing dancing, and the fraction of people that are tap dancing. Can I convert those into percents? I can convert those into percents. Okay, I just take and I do the division, and I multiply by what value? What do you always do? You divide and then multiply by?
The reciprocal.
Not by the reciprocal, though sometimes we do, but not here. What do? We're going to divide and multiply by 100. We're working with percents. So we multiply by 100. So 7 divided by 41. Let's do this together here. If you do not have a calculator out, you should have one out. Okay? So 7 divided by 41 is 0.170731707. But we're going to round to 2 places past the decimal. Times by 100. It's 17, we'll say 17.1%. Okay, so this is 0.17, okay, 07, which is roughly 17.1%.
Wait, why do we need the 0.1? We just round down.
But wouldn't you round up because you can't have a 0.1?
No, because what's probably most likely going to happen is on another one we're going to have to round down a little. Okay, but we'll see. All right, 2 divided by 41. 0. All right, well, just give me, I'm going to run out of space here. So
4.9, like about
4 point, yeah, we'll say 4.9-ish.
It'd be what? Yeah, because you multiply by 100. Yeah. Or you just move it.
10 divided by 41. 24.4-ish percent. 22 divided by 41. We'll keep this one 53.6-ish. Because it's, I know we should probably round it up a little bit, but we're not going to. All right. Add up these 4%. What's it add up to? 100%. So
You got half the people in there though.
I do have some half percents, not half people.
Oh.
All right. Last but not least, we kind of, did you guys write these percents down?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna switch over here and let's put them on a chart. Okay, first of all, it helps if you start with your largest one and break it down from there. It also helps sometimes if you're drawing this freehand, most times you would never do this freehand. Okay, you are always going to do this on a computer, and most of the time you'd use a program that does this for you. But if you have to quickly draw this on a computer or on a piece of paper, my recommendation to you would be very lightly to sketch. Hang on. Grab a different pen. Come on, pen. Oh, right here. Pen. Mm-hmm.
It's like 25%.
Okay.
That's weird.
I can break it up into different pieces. Okay? So, if this is 25%, this little sector here is about 12.5%. So I can start using these to kind of help me figure out how much of my circle is different things, okay? So kind of seeing it like this helps. Or if you wanted to, you could just do maybe something like this, just to give yourself some guidelines. This is 25%, okay? All right, so what is my highest percent? 53.6. 53.6. Well, this is 50, so I'm going to have to go a little bit more in another direction. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then I'm just going to add a sliver here. Okay, remember I'm freehand drawing this. So this area here would represent tap shoes.
Shoes.
Or tap dancing. Not shoes, you're right. Okay? So we might say this is tap at 53%. Okay, next one. What's the next biggest? 24. Is it exactly 24?
24.4.
Oh yeah, I guess it's the point ones are going to be really hard to get on here. Well, this here is 25. Okay, add up the 53 and the 24 or whatever. What do you get? You get pretty close to 75? 78. So if that's the case, this would be 75. So we could kind of take a little bit of this and then go over a little bit into here. And what group was that? Ballet? Swing? Okay.
It was less than 25. Oh, but you went over like.
All right, next group. Tango? Ballet? How much is ballet? 17%. Well, 12 and a half is half a sliver. So 17 is probably going to fall a little bit above, so probably right about in here. So this would be ballet. A very bright group of people. And then that leaves us with the tango. Okay, so that's what you would do. You would find the total, find the percent, then do your best to estimate their locations on a pie chart. Okay? That's what you would try to do. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look here. Now, in your homework, they're going to ask you to do it by degrees. Okay?
We have to do it by degrees.
And I'm going to tell you this. Given the fact that we're not really using protractors and that you live in a society where it's easy to make pie charts even on your own devices, okay? Well, I think that is an important skill. I think it's more useful elsewhere. So for this particular assignment, given the fact that we're working specifically with pie charts, I'm going to say, no, I don't think you have to take it from a degree standpoint. Okay? So what do I mean? Take a look, please, look at page 451. Instead of finding percents like we did here, they want you to find the degree of each sector. This is called a sector. They want you to find the exact degrees of that sector, then use a protractor to draw it. But you live in a society where no one draws pie charts by hand anymore. So that's not something I think is absolutely necessary for you to learn. Okay? How many degrees are in a full circle, though? Anybody know? 360 degrees. 360 degrees. So in theory, could you find how many degrees each one of these were if you knew the percent?
Yeah.
You could. All right? You could. So for instance, if this is 17.1%, what could you do to find how many degrees that is?
17.1 over 100 equals blank over 360.
Right, blank over 360. Or you could take 360 and multiply it by 0.1707. This would be approximately 61 degrees. Okay? And so if we were to go back and look at that, 61 degrees, this should be approximately 61 degrees if we were to measure it with a protractor. So that's what they want you to do. We're not going to necessarily go that way with this assignment. And I've adjusted your homework accordingly. Anyone have any questions? If you do, that's fine. You can ask them throughout. All right, your homework assignment is going to be 1 through 14 all. No number 10. And I'll tell you this, when you're working on this assignment, we are not going to be able to check it because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you guys are I-step testing. So today, I'm going to give you an opportunity to check last night's. And if you get done with this assignment in the next 10 minutes or so, which could be possible, you can check tonight's assignment, and then we will collect them next week after we're done with testing. All right, let's go ahead and